There's zero rational I told you I was going to be angry. Zero rational reason to do it at your cubicle.
Yep.
You do it at home, beep face. I just want to cuss so much on the show right now. All right. So this next one is I found a butt face. Am I the butt face? Right
You found a butt face.
I found a butt face.
Okay.
All right. Am I the butt face for asking HR to send a generalized email to the whole building asking people to be mindful of perfume/aerosol spray use? Recently, two women, it's very short, so I'll read this whole thing. Recently, two women moved into the two open cubicles in front of my desk at work. They seem polite, but we're not in the same department, so I haven't talked to them very much. Everyone's busy all day, not a lot of opportunity for chatting outside of your team, etc. Lately, when they come in now, though they've been completely covered, all in caps, in perfume. For weeks, it's been giving me a migraine all day, but I didn't want to cause an issue or potentially offend or embarrass anyone, so I haven't said anything. I imagine there's a lot of people listening to this episode that can relate to that. Unfortunately, last week they both turned it up several notches and have been spraying perfume and hairsprays while at their desks. My migraines got a lot worse, and I actually had a reaction and couldn't breathe for a few hours and needed my inhaler. Before somebody goes, "Oh, you're overreacting," I get it. When you're talking about this kind of smell reaction, it makes it harder to breathe. It's not that she couldn't breathe, but she definitely needed some help, and she has an inhaler because she probably has asthma, and so she used it. All right, back to the story. I didn't say anything to my coworkers, but I quietly submitted an email to HR just asking if they could send a generalized email to the building so no one was targeted. And again, as I mentioned earlier, potentially embarrassed and offended. HR agreed, and as soon as the email went out, my teammates started messaging in a work chat asking who snitched. I like that word. I'll get that.
The fact that they immediately knew who they were talking about kind of tells you that they knew that they were a problem.
Yeah. Snitched is that. It's like, yeah, you knew you weren't supposed to be. I want to smack you. Anyway, I definitely don't want to tell anyone I was the one who submitted the request. You don't need to. Don't do it because I feel extremely embarrassed. I would have just dealt with the. Okay, this is the last sentence. I would just have dealt with the migraines, but not being able to breathe wasn't very fun and really messed up my work day. So I'm worried if it does come out, people will judge me for it. Am I the butt face? Before I go off on my rage-filled rant, Joe?
Migraines suck.
Yeah.
Like I would have done it well. Like when I got the first migraine, now they could have talked to the person, or the people, but going to HR and having a generalized.
That's what they're there for.
Yeah. So having a generalized one, because at that point it's a medical concern, and asking people to tone down their perfume and hairspray is not a big ask, in my opinion. It's not like they were even asking them to just completely get rid of it. Just, we don't need to be bombed by whatever fragrance of the week that you want to be sporting. So
yeah, and I do not identify with the I didn't want to embarrass anybody or bother anybody. Okay, my therapist in my head, who I go see every Sunday, my therapist is going, that's not your problem. Why are you automatically finding reasons to not protect yourself? And you're worried they're being embarrassed. What would you, as a third party, right? Well, what would even make you, if they're doing it at their desk, they're not going to be embarrassed that it bothers you. These are prima donna, self-centered beep holes because they think it's fun to do all that. Just like some of the churches I've been to, second the preacher starts to preach, big old bottle of lotion comes out. You can hear it lather on their hands and their arms, and you can smell it. And finally, one Sunday, I went just out of nowhere, why? And that was it. I didn't do nothing. Everybody stopped, and the preacher just kind of went. And then when nothing else happened, he just kept going. But everybody knew what I was saying. And at the end, those around was like, oh, thank you for that, and you'll find that. And this person who wrote it needs my help because, one, HR is exactly there for this reason, period. quietly sending it is exactly the way in typical business fashion it quote finger should be handled.
Yep.
Right. And HR sent out an email going, because it is not appropriate to wear a smell that I can smell you coming. And after you've left for 5 minutes, I can still smell you. That's BS. And definitely there's zero rational I told you I was going to be angry. Zero rational reason to do it at your cubicle.
Yep.
You do it at home, beep face. I just want to cuss so much on the show right now. But don't
they're
do
up
it.
there with
Don't
people who microwave fish at the work.
Yes, and burning popcorn in the microwave, in the company microwave. I thought of that too, Joe. I thought of that too, where our company I was in had to put out an email. You cannot bring fish or fish products to work anymore. Some people are allergic, not to the smell, but whatever. But it does. It stinks up the whole. And I would be the one where we had this open atrium. So downstairs was the kitchen off the big entryway to this building, and then the halls were open on the second floor. And so basically every office could hear me, right? If I yelled loud enough. And I did. And I went, and after the third time, and at night, there's only like 10 of us in the building, right? During the day, it's like 60 people, but at night, 10 to 15 at most, right? And so this is in the evening, and it's like the third night in a row, some bleep hole had burnt popcorn. And I stood there and went, "Stop burning the popcorn, you beep." And I didn't say beep. I said the real words. And that was it. They got embarrassed. Because sometimes embarrassment will make you know that, hey, you're doing wrong. Hey, I'm not even going to say a name because I don't want to pick on anybody specific. Hey, Deuterino, I can tell you haven't showered in a week. You need to do that for your sake and ours.
Especially at cons.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I had
it makes me think. Okay, I was just gonna say it makes me think of in middle school a science lesson that I had where I don't even remember what the lesson was fully about, but my teacher brought in a whole bunch of bottles with liquids in it that were different scents, and none of them were bad, like they weren't repugnant, but it was just so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
I remember taking my shirt and putting it over my nose, and my teacher's like, "I guarantee that this stuff smells way better than you do." And I'm like,
F you prideful bleep hole. Sorry.
Well, and I'm just like, it's not that it smells bad. It's just so overpowering to my olfactory senses. It's just too much.
Okay, teacher, who are you trying to attract? Nobody. Why do you think you smell so bad that you have to put on a smell? Oh, I like it. Who gives a crap? Save it for your damn date night. Not for high school. Not for back in my ambulance. I had policies on my company because I hate smells. I had policies in my company that says you cannot wear perfumes, scented this, anything. If I smell you, I will embarrass you and I will send you home. End of story. And I put part of the rationale was there are people who are allergic to stuff. This person who wrote this, am I the butt face one? They had a reaction where it made it difficult for them to breathe. They got migraines. My wife will get migraines from things. She found these great rings on TikTok. Side note, everybody, if you need to know the link, hit us up wnnShow@gmail.com. Okay. I'll find the link. I'll send it to you. I don't get any kind of kickback off of it. It's just a thing my wife found on TikTok, but it's basically these little removable nose rings that you can put in your, it's like a septum ring. That's what it looks like, but it's soaked in like whatever you want. She chooses like the peppermint essential oils, and it's made over into that soaks it up, and they last for a little while, and you can actually re-soak them, and they'll re-soak up, and that's what she does. Not only does she wear like a COVID mask often when we go to the movies because people put on their Axe body sprays and whatnot, but she'll put that ring in, and then sometimes you can still put the mask on, and it really helps clean the air, right? All she smells is peppermint, which she likes. So because it's closer and it's stronger, it blocks out most of the other smells.
They did something similar during colonial times. People would carry around little bags of like basically potpourri.
Potpourri, yeah.
And they'd keep it up to their face. And people bathed a lot less back then.
They bathed like twice a year. Yep. 3 whatever. Right. And that's not now. And I don't hesitate. Especially if I'm outside walking into a store and like a little light wind is blowing and I could smell it like you just shoved a bottle of Axe body spray up my nose. I do not hesitate. Like, Jesus Christ, how much do you have to wear that can smell you outside? Don't know who wearing it. Don't know if they would get mad at me. But you look at me and you hear me talking like that, you're not going to start a fight 9 times out of 10.
And the worst are the people who are trying to cover up their BO with the spray.
Yes. Oh,
Oh,
I
so
started
bad.
saying things to people when I was first a paramedic, a commercial station. You know, I basically worked for somebody and was at their station, whatever. And every time, I am not exaggerating. Every time I had this one partner that when the tones dropped and our truck was called, he would go beeline to the corner of the day room. The day room, by the way, is where all the crew sit to nap and watch TV, and shh with axe. And I'm like, I'm going to shove that bottle so far up your butt if you do that one more time. Take a deep GD bleeping hole shower. That is not a shower. So I've shorthanded that to now. Axe body spray is not a shower. Go home. And so yeah, I will. You're not the butt face. Those ladies are. Hopefully, if it were to ever come out and you were found out, hopefully you'll find the truth, like I have found it many times when I've said something to people, politely or otherwise. I'll say what I said to my kid here in a minute, but hopefully you'll find what I found. Other people who are also afraid to say something will come to you and go, thank you so much. That gave me this problem. That bothered me this way. Thank you very much for stepping up, because I didn't want to. I felt bad too, but I needed it. You know, the only people who are going to be mad at you is the people that the whole internet and the world are mad at, and it's those ladies. And my son is 13. It's chemical reaction time. He really is about to have to take showers once a day, if not twice. And he, just like a standard 13-year-old, you just don't want to until you do. Like, ultimately, I've stayed on my teenagers and the older two eventually after, and we're polite about it, but I'm truthful. I'm like, hey, I'm going to tell you when you smell, because wouldn't you rather me tell you, even though it bothers you a little bit and you get a little irritated with me, maybe you're a little embarrassed, wouldn't you rather me, the guy who loves you and is looking out for you, kindly say, hey man, I think you might need a shower, as opposed to you going out in public or being around somebody and maybe you meet somebody you think is cute, or maybe you meet some friends, some people that you think would be good friends, and they treat you like crap or they make fun of you because you smell. Because I know you don't want to smell, and I know you can't tell exactly that you smell because your own nose gets used to it. And he's like, he begrudgingly like, yeah, okay, I agree. And it's cool now. And I try not to do it too much. I really don't want to make him feel bad, but it's worked with Oakland and Crosby. We just both there and I gently go, hey, when's the last time you took a shower? Or you need to take, and ultimately, especially when they first started working and they would take a shower in the morning and then they go stink all day and come back and then want to go out with their friends, they'll take a second shower. Cool. I hate how high my water bill is sometimes, but I like that my kids are hygienic and they don't do the Axe body spray BS, because it can't do it.